Hey, welcome to Mama Mandala, where magic is somatic. I'm Hagar. You know, magic is somatic because it happens in our bodies. We are the tool of magic. We are the magic wand. We are the staff of the wizard. We are a powerful presence. We are a conduit of energy. Have you heard that before? That you are a conduit of energy. We are a channel. We are a powerful vessel into which life pours all of its flavors, all of its experiences. We are the cauldron that cooks life's experiences, that churns and processes and transforms and alchemizes the experiences that we have. So we are, and in our bodies, we experience the magic of the universe, the magic of life. And as a conduit of energy, we can work on strengthening who we are and how we are so that we can receive into us what the world pours into us in ways that don't diminish who we are, in ways that allow us to stay the vessel, to stay the powerful presence that holds all that comes through us. And, you know, we often hear that that water takes the shape of its container. So we can think sometimes of the experiences of life, the liquidity of life, the waters, and it takes the shape, the experience takes the shape of who we are because of how we're receiving it into us. And that is a very empowering and very powerful and very important way to look at life and to receive life through. It's a wonderful lens because it allows you to really take the reins, take charge. However, I think that it's also helpful to remember that water changes what it touches, and it changes it over time, and it changes the shape actually of its container. It just happens over a longer period of time. The way that water runs through rocks and creates grooves in the rocks over time. So it's a both and conversation. You are a powerful vessel and you have the capacity to choose how you're receiving the experiences that life is throwing your way. You have the ability, we all have the ability to step more deeply, breath by breath, moment by moment, day by day, step more deeply into who we are and into how we want to let the world move through us. We create boundaries, right? The vessel has boundaries. So maybe not, we don't let everything in the same way. We have the ability to say no to certain things. It's a container, right? And so there are boundaries to the container. There's a separation, or not a separation, but a differentiation between what is happening on the inside and what's happening around us. And yet we're porous. It's semi-permeable, right? Into the vessel, things do come in and they will change us. Life is going to change us. So the channel that we are is affected by life, and we affect life, and it's a conversation, and there is no real actual separation, because if you think of the way that the breath is moving into you, there's always an inner and outer exchange. The world is never not inside of you, and you are never not pouring yourself into the world. And so the world is the vessel that holds you, and you are the vessel that holds the world. And it's a both end conversation. There's so much more. There's so much more to this conduit conversation, because the yoga tradition offers us this idea that we have many channels, many conduits throughout our system. And they're physical, so they are the arteries and veins, and they are the nerves branching in many directions, and it's also a subtle thing, right? The energy channels in the body. The yogis say there are 72,000 out of which 72,000 more emerge. The 72,000 are said to emerge from a little bulb in your belly below your navel. And all the channels of energy in the body emerge from there. And the yogis tell us there are three main ones. There's the center one, the Sushumna Nadi. There's the masculine and the feminine. The masculine being the sun side, the right side of your body. And there's the moon side, the feminine side, the dark side, that is the left side. And I would like to challenge us to include the masculine and the feminine conversation in how we're looking at it. So receiving how the yoga tradition offered this information to us, it is helpful not to throw away masculine and feminine as we begin to also include a non-binary perspective, an invitation to look at the way that how we've conceptualized masculine and feminine can shift, the way that the channels, the way that the channel that we are, the way that the vessels that receive into them information and knowledge and experiences are changed by the experiences. So the vessel of masculine is maybe not going to be so linear in our perception of it and in how we conceive in our brains what masculine means. And the same with the feminine. We think of the feminine in a certain way. We've been told a certain way, where the symbols that work on us, on the unconscious, are going to speak to us about the feminine in certain ways. And we get to expand the conversation. We get to move it further. We get to broaden the vessel that we are and how we receive and how we think of things and what we generate inside the vessel that we are, because the channel is not only receptive, but it's also generative. Something happens inside the vessel that then is birthing something more into the world. And so the channels that the yogis tell us about in Sanskrit, the word is nadi. Nadi is channel or conduit in Sanskrit. And so we're told about it in a certain way, and yet here, right now, as we contemplate it, as we breathe with it, we have an invitation to allow it to also change in the way that the vessel that we are reconstructs itself with more concepts and ideas and creative perspectives and new ways of seeing and of thinking. So the channel that we are can keep receiving and creating more ways. And so the yogis say that out of the 72,000 channels that emerge from that little bulb at below your navel, 72,000 more emerge, and on and on and on. Because there's more and more and more. Because the channel, vessel, conduit that we are keeps making more of itself. And there are more ways. And we keep branching out. So that's a lot. Come to all fours. Your hands and your knees. Spread your fingers wide and root and ground your hands into the earth as a way to embody this concept, this understanding that you are powerful and that you can ground and root yourself into who we are and as who you are in a way that makes an imprint, in a way that is clearly who you are. And as your hands root, you can move your hips a little bit side to side, because who you are changes, who you are broadens, who you are is not static. You can move in circles, you can move just side to side, you can start to do, if you'd like, some cat and cows, you can do all of the above. But as you move right now, in your spine, in your hips, with your hands rooted into the earth, start to breathe a little bit more deeply. Allow the breath to be slow and conscious. And make a strong vessel with the back of your throat into which you receive the breath in a way that makes the breath more powerful. In a way that makes the sound of the breath becomes a resonance. Follow the next breath or two, and as you exhale, transition into downward facing dog, into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Hands are grounded, feet are rooted, breath is deep and slow and full. Then with your next exhalation, bring your knees down to the floor and reach with an inhale your left arm to the left. As you exhale, thread your left arm underneath your right arm. Bring your left shoulder to the floor and come up high on the fingertips of your right hand. Slow breath. Root the fingertips of your right hand into the floor. The right elbow lifts up as you turn your chest up to the sky, and breathe slowly. Slow and deep through the tone in the back of the throat. Again, reminding us that when the channel, the vessel is strong, the flow of the experience becomes more efficient, more powerful, more transformative. And again, so you change the shape of the flow of the breath with the channel that you create for it. Inhale, untwist, bring it back to center. As you exhale, move your hips a little side to side. Inhale your right arm to the right, and with an exhalation, slide your right arm underneath your left, twist to the left, come up on the fingertips of your left hand and lift your chest up to the sky. And as you change the shape of the power of the breath, you are also changed by it. Because the efficiency of the breath increases. Breathe slowly. Bring yourself back to center with a slow inhalation. And again, root your hands down and move your hips a little side to side. Inhale deeply. And once again, exhale, press your hands down and reach up and back into downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Hands rooted, especially through the inner edges of the hands, especially through the part that wants to lift up. Because when we create a strong vessel, we notice where the holes are, right? Where the leaking of the energy happens. And that's where we anchor a little bit more. That's where we create a more strength. We bring more attention to it and strengthen it. Bring your knees down to the floor with an inhalation. Keep your hands rooted. And with an exhalation, bring your hips down and lift your chest forward and up as you point your feet, spread your toes. Move your upper body a little bit side to side as you breathe. And you're moving side to side. We're twisting side to side to visit and notice the right and the left, the masculine and the feminine, and the experiences that perhaps allow us to expand the experience itself of what those sides meant and what they may mean now. Exhale, reach up and back into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. I know I'm bringing a lot into this conversation right now because I want you to focus on the channel that we are, but I want you to also focus on the way that the channels can keep evolving. You're not fixed as a vessel. You keep changing. With your next exhalation, walk your hands back towards your feet into Uttanasana, and I want us to bring and ground ourselves in the yoga tradition. Inhale, look forward, halfway up, because there's such wisdom there to root ourselves into. Exhale, fold in, but hopefully not get stuck in what they thought, how they saw the yogis that came up with those ideas. Inhale, look forward. How they channeled those downloads of knowledge, of wisdom. Exhale, fold back in. Was in a world that is different than the world of today. So the world of today invites us to keep changing, to not get stuck. Inhale, look forward. To not get stuck in the concepts that we come up with today either. Exhale and fold back in. Even if they seem like really good ideas, bring your left hand right now to the outside of your right shin. Keep the fingertips of your right hand on the floor and gently twist your sternum, the breastbone, the chest to the right. Now let's strengthen the channel. Let's strengthen the vessel. Draw the right side, the right hip bone, the front of your right hip bone toward the left. So even though you're twisting to the right, pull the right side of your body toward the left, even the right side of your ribs to the left as you turn your chest to the right. And breathe slowly. With an inhalation, untwist. Place the fingertips of your left hand on the floor and exhale, bring your right hand outside of your left shin for a little twist. Turn your chest to the left, but breathe slowly. And strengthen the abdominal region, the hip area. So that the front of your left hip bone, pull it toward the right, like you're trying to not twist in your lower belly. The left side of your ribs, pull toward the right. But now with your chest, with your breastbone, turn to the left. And notice how that resistance, that meeting place in the middle, actually makes you stronger. Can you feel it? Let that strength wrap around whatever it is that's going on in your life right now, so that you can be with it in a way that is helpful. So that you can be with it in a way that enhances you, who you are, and your life. And through that, something greater than you back to center with an inhalation. Place the fingertips of your right hand on the floor and fold deeply in as you exhale. Inhale, look forward halfway up. Exhale, walk your hands forward back into downward facing dog. Spread your fingers, ground your hands rooted especially through the points in the hands that would tend to lift the inner edges, the index finger knuckles, the tips of your fingers. With an exhalation, bring your knees down to the floor. Separate your knees a little bit, but bring your big toes to touch. And exhale back into child's pose, all the way back down. Forehead on the ground, slow breath in. Come up high on the fingertips of your hands. And with an exhalation, walk your hands to the left. So the whole left side of your body right now reaches and lengthens. You might notice that the right hip wants to go, the left hip wants to go with you toward the right. So pull your left hip back and draw the right hip bone toward the left hip bone. So you're kind of taking the lower part of your body more towards the left as the upper part of your body goes to the right. And that creates the strength, the engagement that allows you again to wrap around an experience, to receive the experience in a way that doesn't destroy you. Because sometimes the experiences that we have to deal with in life feel very intense. And I don't know, right now in the world, it feels like, oh my gosh, can my system really survive this? Inhale back to center. I know I'm not the only one. And then exhale, walk your upper body to the left. So the whole right side of the body stretches and the right hip bone wants to go with you. Because the parts of us, there's a lot of parts of us that are gonna just wanna fall and collapse with the experiences that we have. And I think that the collapsing is actually not to be denied. However, I also want us to be strong. I want us to be healthy. I want us to be grounded so that we can deal with it, so that we can handle it. So pull your right hip back and draw the left hip bone toward the right hip bone. So there's an engagement in the lower region as you extend yourself long to the left. And yes, we some things are going to be dismantled and dissolved and decomposed. Inhale back to center, back to child's pose in the center. Exhale slowly so that new things can emerge. So it's not that we're not going to be destroyed by what's going on. Inhale back to all fours, hands and knees. And exhale, lower your hips and lift your chest forward and up. Come straight into cobra. Bend the elbows a little bit and broaden through your collarbones. Do you feel like your shoulders want to kind of push forward? If you do, gently draw the top part of your arm bones, the heads of your arm bones into the sockets, just in a gentle way, not cranking it, in a gentle way, and lift your chest. So in that strength process, exhale to downward facing dog. We also want to bring softness. We don't want to become ossified and rigid through the strength that we are cultivating. And then knees back down to the floor with an exhalation. Sit back on your heels. Take your right hand behind you. Inhale, reach your left arm up. And with an exhalation, bring your left hand outside of your right hip or right thigh. And again, the left side of your body, I can feel it in myself. The left hip bone pushes forward. So pull it back. Draw the right hip bone toward the left hip bone as you turn your chest more to the right. So it's a twist, but it's also a bit of a spinal extension. It's a little bit of a back bend. So you can lift your chest up a little bit and keep the head of the right arm bone back. And then back to center with a slow inhale. And exhale, place the fingertips of your left hand down. Right arm up with a deep inhalation. So again, there's an extension in the spine. And exhale, bring your right hand outside of your left thigh. Pull the left hip bone toward the right. And turn your chest more to the left. And even here, the left side of the ribs can pull toward the right. So there's a little more engagement in the abdominal region, even though you're opening, broadening, lifting, and extending the spine. Back to center, inhale. And exhale slowly. Lean right now with your right hip to the right. Hello, kind of drop into it. And bring your left hand outside of your right knee. And again, deep breath in, right hip bone toward left hip bone, an engagement in the abdominal region in the center as you turn your chest to the right. Slow breath. And inhale back to center and take the hips to the left so the feet are on the right side of you right now, and bring your right hand outside of your left knee and turn and twist gently your chest to the left. Grounded in who you are, but not unchanged, not indissolvable. Grounded, strong, and yet liquid enough, fluid enough, so that when the world comes at us, we are changed by it. We are willing to transform and to look at things through different lenses. Back to center, inhale. And into child's pose. Separate your feet wide apart. And once again, let yourself rest in the center, forearms on the ground, forehead to the earth. Strong vessel that's also receptive and creative, and therefore transformable, changeable, mutable. Fixed enough in the center of who we are, and mutable enough in the ever-changing world. Sit back on your heels and place your left hand over your heart and your right hand over your belly, receiving yourself in this moment right where you are. Breathe into who you are. And breathe into this immensely powerful capacity to keep changing who you are, to change with the changes. And yet to maintain the power and the shape and the strength that allows you to be with what the world throws your way. And then join your hands in together in front of your heart in Anjali Mudra, in this gesture that is the heart's deepest offering, because we do become a great offering to the world around us when we are weaving together a tapestry of strength and softness, of mutability and fluid, liquid capacities with a grounded sense of being. And so you are the offering that you get to receive, that you get to pour out and in simultaneously. Thank you so, so much for spending this moment with you, for spending this moment with me, for allowing yourself to explore in this way. I hope this was helpful, evocative. It didn't go as deep as it could, because it never does, because we have a few moments and we can always continue the conversation. So if you want to continue the conversation, join me on mamamandala.com. I will leave a link for you. If you want to go even further and deeper and keep exploring, join my Substack. I will leave a link for you as well. And the conversation always continues, deepens, evolves, changes, and transforms. So I am so grateful to be in it with you. Thank you so, so much. Namaste.